As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, this group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and in their unit. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army was improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army First Field Manual, the regulation for the order and discipline of the troops of the United States. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge were not changed for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men of arms have used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved, and it's continued in all modern military, which inherit the traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the officers presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising a hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for events such as this, we ask you to abide by the following standards while you are here. First, there are times you will be asked to stand: the playing of the national anthem, the playing of the Air Force song, and the reciting of the oath of office. Second, we ask that you remain standing during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem and as it passes your area of seating during the review. Military members in uniform should stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians and military members not in uniform should stand and place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the flags have passed, you may then return your hand to your side. In addition, please reserve the strictest respect during the oath of office. During this oath, officers pledge their lives to support and defend our country. For the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask you not go into the grassy areas during the ceremony. Latrines are located in the building to the left of the parade field, and we also ask you to use the backside of the bleachers when going to them. Also, smoking is not allowed on the OTS campus. Today, we are honored to have with us several distinguished guests, beginning with the Commander, Gene M. Homecenter for Officer Accession and Citizen Development, Brigadier General Paul Gimmer and his wife, Cindy. The Command Chief, Air University, Command Chief Master Sergeant Timothy Horn. The Vice Commander, Gene M. Homecenter for Officer Accession and Citizen Development, Colonel Patricia Hoffman. The Spouse of the Commandant, Miss Kelly Lockwood. The Superintendent, Home Center, Chief Master Sergeant William Harrington. The Executive Director, Air University Foundation, Colonel Joe Panza, United States Air Force, retired.